Hello, everyone. Welcome to the update. Let's get this fired up and make sure it's working right. We'll do the infamous sound check. Let's see how this is working. My internet's a little sluggish today, so this may be not such a great idea. Let's get this fired up and make sure it's working right. We'll do the infamous sound check. So far, that sounds pretty good. Let's see how this is working. How's everybody doing out there? All right, who we got? I see already 3 people here. Who's in the chat? Who's in the chat? So we're going to do our daily update and combo as it's turned into. It's morphed into that. Let me know if we start having audio issues. I will adjust as always. Let's see here. Get the screen a little better so I can see it a little better. There we go. All right. So, Prof Sales here, guys, coming at you with an update on the Gene Challenge as we do every day, somewhere around this time. Seems like it's a different time every day, right? Hopefully, you guys are having a great day out there. Your sales are going well. Maybe you're listing. Maybe you're packaging stuff up. Maybe you're watching soap operas, for all I know. There's no way really to tell. But you know the truth, and you know if what you're doing is what you should be doing. But either way, hopefully it's going well for you. Let me know how the sound is, if you guys can, in the chat room, if you can hear me okay. If not, I will adjust. It's kind of hard to tell because I have to keep the sound off while I'm talking, or else I'll hear myself 30 seconds ago, and it's kind of distracting. Who we got with us here today? I see at least 4 people in the room already. Who is here? Who is here? Tell, because I have to keep the sound. Oh, yeah, it sounds all right. Oh, the first time for everything. I think maybe I just need a new computer, right? I don't know. This one's like, it's 3. No, I guess it's 4 years old. Is that right? Well, maybe it's 3 years old. But, you know, in computer terms, that's ancient, right? 3 years is a long time. So a couple things to talk about. Obviously, you guys have seen Karin's video came out last night. We uploaded that. And the response to it has been really overwhelming. Overwhelmingly positive, I must say. Very, very little negative comments or feedback, as well it should not be, because I think she did a great job on it. You know, especially being her first video. I mean, to come in and knock it out of the park like that, that's really difficult. And she did. She definitely put a lot of thought and time and energy into it. And, you know, she's only going to get better. Hopefully she will make some more videos for us. But, you know, sorry, I was just checking an email I got. But, yeah, so she did really great. The video, I think, will definitely help you guys, you know, have some good ideas about what to look for when you're out there sourcing. Maybe you'll find some tips and so on that you can incorporate into your own sourcing, not just for jeans, but for any clothing item, really. You could use it for a lot of the things she talks about and that are applicable to other types of clothing, not just jeans. Frank says, hey, ya, i.e. Outcast 15 years ago. Does anybody remember that song? But yeah, so she did a really good job with the video. I've gotten feedback, you know, on outside of just the comments that have been really good. And you know, the likes have been really high, which is cool to see. I know she's excited about that. It's nice to kind of get a different perspective, right, gang? Instead of just me all the time. But yeah, I mean, we were cool with how it turned out, and you know, we'll need to kind of think about what the next one's going to look like, and so on. So anyhow, somebody posted something earlier today I want to talk about for a moment, and they posted a comment that said something along the lines of, you know, feed the pipeline in terms of just keep listing for eBay. And you hear that a lot with FBA. People call it feeding the beast is the nickname they've given it. You know, just feed the beast and your sales will come, which is true. But, you know, with eBay, it's a little different, sort of the same. I mean, if you keep listing and you keep getting ahead of your listing total, you know, and you keep upping that, your sales are going to grow in proportion to that, obviously, you know, because every day you're going to sell through a certain percentage on average. I guess the only thing I would say that's different with eBay is you have to balance off, because they were asking, you know, why did you spend time marking down some items? You have to balance off, you know, bringing your capital back into your accounts and so on. And I notice every week now I'm burning through all my capital. You know, I'm burning through. It just reminds me that, you know, this is always you're always juggling like all these things. You're juggling the ability to bring capital back in your business and put that back in play by buying new items, as well as, you know, keeping some out for expenses and things like that. You've always got to do that. And that's really important, I think, to really grow your business. Now, sometimes you got to put your energy into more listings, sometimes more sourcing, sometimes it's packing and shipping, you know, whatever it is. But, you know, because on eBay, you are still doing the listing and the photographs and the packing and shipping all yourself, unlike Amazon, you really have to balance off all those elements and think about, well, what's going to give me the greatest bang for my buck? And, you know, I guess the key is every day, just make sure you're doing something. Just doing something on it to improve your business, improve your listings, improve your sourcing, whatever it is. Just make sure you're doing something on it each day, and try not to let days go by. And it's hard. It's hard to find that motivation sometimes. You know, it's like, oh man. And then you hear that little sound, right? That we just heard. I don't know if you guys could hear it. Something just sold. I think I just listed those. But you hear, you know, you get motivation, and you know, it comes back, and you say, oh, I'm gonna go list more. I'm gonna go source more. I'm gonna go, you know, take some more photographs, whatever it is. But you're always balancing off, you know, your time to what you're going to put your energy into. So I don't think it's ever a simple answer in this business what you should be doing. I mean, it may be a simple concept, maybe not a simple answer. You always got to be thinking about, well, I think what we get caught up in is we get caught up in just today, and we think, well, all right, today I need to just list. Okay, well, why do you need to list? Well, maybe you haven't listed in a couple days. Maybe you've got a lot of things sitting there that are on the sidelines. Okay, that's reasonable. But what about tomorrow? What's tomorrow's plan? You got to have the ability to look out a little ways and say, all right, well, I'm going to need more money in to my accounts within 2 weeks so I can go buy more product. So that means I've got to get more sales. So is it better for me to list more right now? Should I look at improving my pricing? You know, like I said, eBay doesn't have that repricer strategy like Amazon does, which kind of stinks. I wish it did. But repricing a lot of times just looks like you going in and repricing. And it's pretty easy to do that in bulk, but you kind of have to have a feel for where your items are in their life cycle, you know, how long you've had them. I sequentially number my items, so I can look back and tell you about when I listed that item by what number it is. And that's one way to do it. It's not the only way. You could look back at the dates and so on, but I just want to be able to look quickly in that seller SKU number and say, okay, this is item number 1200. So I know I listed it approximately 5 months ago, you know, whatever the time frame is, and say, all right, it's probably time to, you know, maybe drop the price a little and see if I can move on out. Because my $5, you know, here's what it comes down to, gang. You buy an item like jeans for $5 or whatever your price is, it doesn't matter, and it sits there. Well, your $5 is not coming back to you until that item sells. So ultimately, you don't want your $5 to sit there too long, but then again, you've got to give it a little time to try to sell as well. But you know, I can't sit here and tell you what's the perfect formula for that. You've got to figure it out on your own and kind of play with it a little bit. You know, experience is the best teacher, I think, in this case, and I'm a big believer in that. So anyway, that's the end of that. Let's see, what do we got going on here in the chat? Husband's wife PA Picker says, I've changed up all my eBay doing, I will now only buy certain name brands, I will only buy mint clothes. I want my profit $15 or more. Yeah, that's a great profit. Husband, wife, PA Pickers. If you can find clothing, it'll give you a net of $15. That's great. I mean, that's awesome. You're hitting it out of the park, I think, if you're averaging that. Granted, your hiring brands will bring you even more than that sometimes, but it's just hard to find a lot of supply. So you've got to balance that off. It's like, here's a good example for you. You know, say you found a brand of suit coat, let's just say for argument's sake, and you can get them for $7 and they will sell for $50. So that's a $43 gross before fees and so on, right? But you're only going to find 2 of them a week. You know, so 2 a week you're going to find, which is $86 a week, which is, you know, it's good, no doubt about it. But my question is, what about if the same time you could find another item that you would net $10 on, but you can find 10 of them a week? It's going to take you more time to list them, but you're going to make $100 instead of 86, but you can keep doing it. You know, so it's kind of, there's all these trade-offs, you know, and all these calculations you've got to do in your head and think about. And I think about this stuff all the time. I think about, well, if I drop jeans to this price, will they sell quicker? I'll get my money back out and I can go flip again. You know, Pittsburgh Mike is great about that. He flips a lot of volume because he prices a little bit lower and he gets his items a bit lower as well. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, the hiring brands are great. You just don't find as many of them. But if your goal is just to maximize your profit, that's what you should go for. You just have to remember that it's going to take you longer potentially to make a lot of money in them because you're just not going to find a lot of them. And sometimes they take longer to sell too, depending on what the brand is. You got to figure that in too. I wish there was some formula you could put in and say, I'm going to make this amount of profit per week if I sell this brand. But I don't think that exists. And even if it did, it would be so complex to try to figure that out. You know, so you sort of have to find your way with all this. I don't only sell clothes. So I hope that $15 profit isn't too hard to achieve. No, you can definitely achieve it. PA Pickers is just a matter of how many of them can you find, you know. Yvonne says, I do mainly clothing, but not much in jeans unless Miss Me AG. So I'm following you to see if I can get out of my comfort zone and try more jeans. Yeah, Yvonne, you know, if you go on eBay, you're going to see there's a lot of brands on there that will sell well and sell for good money. There just aren't a lot of listings. So it's tricky with those. Say you pick a brand that only has 200 listings on eBay. That's a pretty small brand. That's not a lot of listings. But you've noticed when you see the solds, it tends to sell for, I don't know, let's say $30. That's a good price for a pair of used jeans to sell for on eBay. So you would probably pick that one up. But you got to think about, well, it's probably going to sit for 3 months, maybe even 6 months, because it's just not a super popular brand. There's not, you know, maybe 5 have sold since the beginning of this year out of, you know, 200 listings. That's not very good sell-through. You know, so you kind of got to look at that. On the other hand, if there's been 30 listings and 5 sold, that's decent. You know, it's not great. When I started this back, oh God, I don't even know. when I first started looking at jeans, I wanted to see a sell-through rate of at least 20% in the previous 100 listings. At least, preferably I wanted to see 30 or 40. And there are jeans out there that sell through that. Now, you would say, all right, well, they sell through, Prof, but what do they sell for? Well, that's a great question. You still got to go and look and, all right, well, what's the average price they're selling at? And you could actually sit there and put those prices in Excel if you wanted and figure an average, or write it down if you wanted. But, you know, if they're selling through at 50%, but they're only selling for $10, you know, you're going to have to get them for $1 or $2 to make any money in them. You're not going to be able to buy them for $5 and really make much money on them if they're selling for $10. So you really need to think about all those factors. And I've done a video or two about that, like how to research clothing and how to sell clothing, or how to sell jeans on eBay. And, you know, the information's several months old now, but I don't think it's really changed that much. Let's see what we got in the chat here. Mark says, I take the completed and divide by solds for sell-through rate. Yep. Lowest he'll go is 35%. Yeah, and you know, Mark, at this time of year, a lot of those 35%ers might have dropped to 30 or even 25. So you got to keep that in mind too when it's the summer. I want that sweet spot between the quick flip and a good ROI. Yeah, exactly right. But you know, if you can turn volume, Yvonne, then you could probably go more towards the quick flip side of that spectrum. On the other hand, if you can't list but 5 items a day, then you might want to go for the good ROI. That would be my suggestion to you. And you know, you can figure out what that looks like for you, whether you can list a lot or get your hands on a lot. It's not just the listing part. It's being able to find the source of supply. If you can't find a lot of supply, then you're not going to be able to turn volume, which means you might want to edge towards that ROI side of that sales spectrum. You know, the slow dime instead of the fast nickel. Anyway, how long will you hold a jean before placing it on sale, and how much is the sale price? Well, that's a great question. Since I've started changing my selling strategy to listing the jeans at one price with a charged shipping rate, I've kind of been trying to price jeans when if they're bread and butter, somewhere between 16 to 18 bucks with, you know, $6.50 shipping. But when I look back at that SKU number and I see that I've held a pair of jeans now for at least 3 months, I will knock at least $1 off of that, maybe even $2 if it's just a really generic fit. For instance, like, you know, Mark could speak to this too. Let's say you've got a pair of Levi's 515s, boot cut, size 10, regular, stretch, women's. Nothing really that fancy about those jeans. There's tons of them on eBay. I might have started that jean out. At only 16 bucks plus $6.50 for shipping. If I've had it for a month or two, even that jean, I might drop it $1 to 15, and I might even go all the way down to 14. I was doing my calculator earlier today, and I saw that if you put in, you know, my cost of goods is like $5, $4.99 plus tax, but I'm working on that. But if I put in $12.50 as a selling price plus $6.50 shipping, I basically net back what I spent on the jean. I net $5.19, which is close to the $5.35 I'm spending. So I could even go down to that amount if they've just been setting a long time. Now, if it's a little bit nicer pair of jeans, a nicer brand, and a good fit, like a long, for instance, or it's a plus size or a big man size, big and tall, I'm probably going to hold that price a little longer, because what you've got to remember, guys, is there's lots of women out there who would fit a size 10 regular 515 Levi boot cut. There's not as many women who are going to wear a size 18 long. So it's going to take them a while to find your pair of jeans. You know, I mean, you can't expect those people to just show up tomorrow and buy your pair of jeans. You kind of have to let your jeans set and marinate a while, and, you know, wait till your buyer finds them, you know, because they're just that buyer is a little more specialized, and there are not as many of those buyers out there. So the chance they're going to see your jean is lower, and there's lots of people out there who are going to buy size 10s. So keep that in mind too. It's also what you're selling, not just how long you've had it for sale. So I'm thinking maybe a separate account for just my jeans experiment and do the bins for cheap cost and quick flip. Sure, Yvonne, why not? eBay's got no problem with that. What size are the worst selling? What size is the best selling? I can never sell tiny sizes. Tiny sizes are difficult to sell. You're not the only one, PA pickers. But I would say you can get some sell-through on like zeros and double zeros sometimes, especially if they're longs. Those are again kind of an unusual size. But if they're just like a zero regular, you know, the average American woman now is close to a size 12. So as you get further and further away from that 12, you're going to see less and less buyers in either direction. You're going to see a lot less buyers that are zeros and twos and fours even. You're going to see a lot less buyers that are 18s, for instance. So, but overall, the plus sizes will sell better because there tends just to be less supply of them. I think people just hold on to them more, maybe. I'm not sure what the science is behind that or the psychology, but it seems to be that way. Levi, okay. I bet large or fat sizes move fast because heavy people don't like to shop in stores. I don't think that's it, Frank. Jeez. I don't think that's it. Women jeans scare me the most because most of us girls are uber picky on the fit, must make booty look awesome. Yes, you're right, Yvonne. That's why I always use the butt shot as my gallery shot for jeans, because that's what a lot of women look at first. They want to see how it's going to make their butt look. So I would still go ahead and, you know, experiment with women's jeans as well. You're going to find, Yvonne, there's just so many more women's jeans out there than men's. Like my experience has been women's jeans in thrift stores outnumber men's probably 6 to 1. You know, so if you want to sell jeans, you cut yourself off from women's, you're only leaving yourself maybe 15% of the jeans you're going to find in a thrift store. So it's not a lot. You use a butt shot, of course. Well, okay, let me back up. Not a butt shot in terms of someone's actually wearing the jeans and it's their butt. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, but turning the jeans over and showing the back designs, of course. That's key. I mean, that's where the designs are. That's where the creativity in the jean is, if there is any. That's what, you know, a lot of women are, you know, hey, Karin, hello. There she is, our little video vixen. Yeah, the butt pick is the money shot. Yeah, it is. It's just how a lot of women shop. They look at that. They look at that shot. They look at that, how the butt looks right away. Plus sizes sell due to vanity. People know they need large sizes, and buying online is less embarrassing than in public. I'm serious. Well, it could be. I don't know. I mean, maybe. Yeah, because they didn't make our butt look good, so off to the Goodwill they went. That's not a crazy idea, Yvonne. That could be true. Yeah, cool idea, good idea, smart. Yeah, I mean, you know, you always want to accentuate your product in a way that is going to appeal to your buyer. So you got to try to get in the mind of your buyer and think, well, what are they looking for in this item? You know, that's with anything else. So I think the butt shot is just, I don't know, to me, it just makes sense. I mean, I know some people put their gallery shot as like the jeans laid out long ways on the floor or a table. I don't understand that shot. I mean, the problem with that shot is, and I've tried it before, I've done that shot before. The problem with that shot is it's so far away. You're so far away from the pair of jeans, it's hard to see detail. And, you know, you don't see jeans, usually you don't see jeans displayed that way in a retail store. Most retail stores are not going to lay out jeans long ways with the legs kind of spread apart. For one thing, it takes up a lot of room. You just shrink down the amount of space you have when you do that. And for two, it doesn't show off the butt if it's a women's pair. And it's just not how people think about buying jeans, you know? So I don't know why that shot shows up on eBay so much. And I just don't take that shot in my photos. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing out. There's no answer to why women buy big size online. Could be pre-owned or cheaper. Of course they are. Same with why men buy 34, 32, 501s online. Frank, I think you're right. We're going to just figure out why plus size women buy their jeans online. I don't know. I know very few men who like shopping and all. You're right, Frank, but guess what? Guess who shops for men's jeans a lot? Women. So it's still not a bad idea to show off the butt shot, even for men's jeans, because if a woman's buying them for the man in her life, whether it's her husband or boyfriend, or maybe it's just even her, you know, I don't know, boyfriend to be, but then they like that butt shot too. I know this is a ridiculous conversation, but I guess it has its place. All right. So anyway, do you do well with Express women's pants? I was told depends on style. Yeah, Express can be a little more, in my opinion, from what I've seen, Express can be a little more bread and butter. Maybe not a huge profit on them. The Re-Rock from Express seem to do a little better than just the regular Express, but it does depend on size. Again, I like longs in Express. They seem to do really well, but in terms of the fits, I don't know. Maybe there's a difference between some of them. I just haven't got enough experience with those to really know. And I do pick them up, especially when they look cool, because sometimes they look really cool, and I think, oh, that'll take a good picture. You know, why not? All right, so if you guys are enjoying the video, please hit the like button down below. It's down there. Please hit the like button. I appreciate it. So would YouTube. I am going to now switch over to our spreadsheet, show you the results from yesterday, August 3rd. All right, so give me just one moment, and I will pull this up. We'll do a little screen share, and we're sharing. Okay, so here was yesterday, August 3rd. You can see my listings were at 560. We got 12 photos last night. Karin knocked some of those out. Listed 5, which kind of listed us all completely up from what we had. Sold 6 yesterday, so a really good day for sales. For a total of $144.50. 32 cost of goods, shipping 35, estimated net 58 bucks. Net per jean $9.67. This was high. Had a couple higher price ones, like I had a pair of $30 silver tabs. Sell-through was 1.07%. Sell to list was 120%, which is good. One defect we found last night, which I think brings the total to 4. I need to tab that up here and sum that up. You see our totals up here along the top line, 1312 gross, sold 58 since we started back in, the 3rd week of July or whatever it was. Netted 488, net per jean 842, so getting up there, but still not the 10 bucks I'd like to see. A couple things to point out here: 67% sell-through, so 2/3 of the way to the 1% I want to be at. We've had 2 or 3 days over 1%, so that's good. Sell to list. This is an interesting number. I wanted to explain this for a second. We've talked about it before, but I just wanted to kind of throw this at you guys. So if you're selling 56% to list, that means you're gaining 44% listings each day, basically. So think of it this way: if you sell 1, you're listing almost 2, which means you're netting 1 more additional listing. So obviously, the lower this is, the more listings you're gaining on your listing total. The higher this is, like if this is 1-to-1, for instance, if it was 100%, that would mean for every 1 you're listing, you're selling 1, which means you're not gaining any listings. So you want to have this lower if you're trying to increase your listing total. So since I've started, I've sold 56%. Think of it this way: I've sold 56 jeans for every 100 I've listed. If that makes sense. So a net of 44. I haven't actually listed and sold 100, but you get the point. So that's a good little number to remember. and good to kind of see if you want to get ahead of your listings and you want to increase the amount of listings you have. Sold to listing. Very simple to figure out too, by the way. This cell just takes H2 and divides it by F2. So it takes this one, 58, and divides it by listed, 103. And it comes up with a percentage. There it is, 56%. Oops. All right, so let's stop sharing that, and we'll go back. Okay, so that was the good day yesterday. As you guys saw, a sell-through of 6. Let me know if my sound gets funky here. Let me listen for a second. Oops. All right, so let's stop sharing that, and we'll go back. All right, seems okay. Okay, so sometimes when I go back from sharing is when the sound gets crazy bad. So yeah, a good day yesterday, selling 6. I was pretty happy about that. My relisting strategy, paid off. It only took, or my listing down, I think that did make some difference. Maybe. It's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, I repriced some things yesterday. Don't forget that. I need to do a video about that, actually, about repricing. That would probably be a good thing, not just for jeans, but just in general on eBay. I know a lot of people like to price good till canceled and just, fire and forget, which I understand that to some point. But ultimately, if you're trying to move volume and you're trying to get your money back out of these items to put them back into new items and make some profit, you've got to go in and reprice your eBay listings. And yes, it's a pain in the butt. But I will say that when you're dealing with primarily one item like this, jeans, or any item that's just you have one type, it's a little easier because you can go in and bulk edit so many of those items at once. You don't have to go in one by one. You can go in and choose 20 and say, make all these this price with these terms and so on. So that makes it a little easier to do. It's not as good as like a repricer, but a repricer on Amazon costs you a monthly fee. So there's trade-offs, right, guys? But I would happily recommend you go in and reprice your items if you need to move some of them out and get some more capital back into your business. Don't wait on that. If things aren't moving, they're costing you money sitting there. I mean, any way you look at it now, what does it mean when I say things aren't moving? That's where we get into like some, a discussion about what that means and how long and what item and so on. But ultimately, if you want to keep reinvesting your profits in this business, you've got to sell things. And if they're not selling, you need to do something to make them sell. And the quickest and easiest thing you can do is drop your price a little bit, take a little hit on the margin, get your capital back, and move on to the next thing. One other thing I want to share with you guys, I had a discussion with, I think it was Brent, an email discussion, and started doing some research. It looks like the whole sales tax thing is a little bit of a gray area in terms of collecting sales tax in states where you have a nexus, or whether you have a nexus from Amazon. I'm not an accountant or an attorney, so don't take this for what it's worth. But there is some disagreement in the community about what exactly it means to have nexus, or basically storing your items in another state, which means you have to collect sales tax when you sell those items. So, I'm kind of feel a little better about that now. I'm going to at least start with my state, obviously, but that was a given anyway. I knew that was going to happen, but it doesn't look like maybe I need to be quite as concerned about registering in all these other states to collect sales tax and so on, which is just a logistical headache. I mean, sales tax is a nightmare because it's not even just the sales tax of the state. Sometimes there's a locality that has a state and you got to charge that, and man, it's nuts. But ultimately, it turned out to be a little better than I thought it was going to be, so I'm happy about that. All right. Hey, 24 people watching, guys. I do appreciate it. I love seeing all you guys coming in and leaving good comments, good feedback. Let me see what sorry, I'm checking my email for a second. I was waiting for an email from somebody. But in any case, that's how I'm doing on the Gene Challenge. So today's goal is to finish up the listings from last night. I've got half done. I got half more to go. That shouldn't take me but about 45 minutes. I've cut a couple things out from my listing specifics, which make it a little faster, which I really like. So that's cool. I do enjoy that. And I'm just going to finish these listings up and move on to the next thing, which is probably just taking more photographs. I keep looking back, hoping all those jeans will somehow magically get photographed and listed, and it hasn't happened yet. Nope, hasn't happened yet either. So I guess I'm going to have to do that. But, you know, that's the gig. Okay, so anyway, I do appreciate you guys coming on with me today. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button down below, or if you're watching it later, please hit the like button down below. I do appreciate it. Feel free to share it on social media and so on. As you guys know, I've started putting a little bit of stuff on Instagram, and that's going to accelerate a bit. You can follow me there. There's a link to that right on the first page under my my channel art, right on the first page of the website of the YouTube channel. And consider subscribing if you would like. You know, and leave me comments, of course. I try to answer all you guys best I can. Good Use Good says he used to buy brand names and high-end clothes when I was young. Not now with bills and responsibilities. Amazing how that changes your perspective, right? Good? Sure does. All right, guys. Well, look, that's about going to do it for today. So I appreciate it. I hope you guys go out there and have an awesome rest of your day. Don't give up if you're struggling. Just get a little bit better today than you were yesterday, and tomorrow you'll be even better still. And before you know it, you'll be getting the results you want. So keep pushing, keep struggling, keep trying. And, you know, if you've got any questions or anything, we're here to help. We've got a good community going, and I really appreciate it, and I really enjoy hearing from you guys. So, all right, so that's going to do it for today. And this is Prof Sales saying good sales to you.